Hey guys, it's me, Jeffrey again. So today I really wanted to talk about kind of like another thing about the all the gods shirt and what it could possibly mean, and and really what I think that means is that basic is really the first part of it is that I think that the Justice League will represent one one part of the one member of the Justice League. Now, how can that be, and how is that possible? Well, for one thing, we do know that Zach does like to put mythology into his movies and most notably DC movies with with Superman being Jesus and the mythology of that. Now for the other superheroes, what kind of god would they represent? Well, for well, who it would well if you go into Greek mythology, majority of the Justice League cast actually does already represent the already does represent a god in their own right in the Greek world, where you have Superman being Zeus, the first and the first god, the first superhero, the light of the world, the king of all superheroes, the king of the Greek gods. And then you go to Batman, who is Hades, which in his aspect where he's at right now is kind of like the Lord of the Dead, the underworld, and how that really fits into that. And then you have Wonder Woman, of course, being Athena, who we all know is the goddess of wisdom and is actually very smart. And then you go and for Cyborg, really, like I said, majority of the Justice League cast does represent someone in some way. But for Cyborg, it's really hard to pick out what kind of Greek god he represents. So then we go into the Flash. Now, the Flash represents Hermes, who is really kind of who is really like the who for those who don't know is a very fast. He very is kind of like a jokester in a kind of way, but then we have that. Now, why am I talking about Greek gods and Justice League altogether? Well, like I said, it all comes down to and really it comes down to the Justice to the All the Gods shirt that Zach put out. Now, and really what I want to, and really where I think this is going, and where it might go, is this, because because there's a reason why I said Hermes is like the Flash is like Hermes in a way, because in Vero a long time ago, someone asked Zach on Vero if it's possible that the Flash can go to the afterlife and 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 actually save Superman. And what I think and it really Zach kind of and it really that does seem a little far fetched, but Zach actually did like that post saying that the Flash can go to the afterlife where this and then you go to this where was actually in Greek mythology was was really kind of like depicted as like a guide for the dead. So like, and so really like what I think might happen, and when how big the Flash is that he can go to the afterlife and really guide people through the underworld to where they need to go, or and possibly in that aspect lead them back to the land of the living. Like I said, in Greek mythology, Hermes is depicted as a guide for the dead in the underworld. Now, why am I talking about the Flash so much and really about him being Hermes and all that? If you think about the bigger picture about all this, we do know that Zack did say that his Justice League trilogy was going to be the kind of like the Lord of the Rings a little bit. Now I haven't watched Lord of the Rings. I have been catching up on it, but yeah, for those who don't know what's in the Lord of the Rings, in one movie you actually do see that someone actually did bring up back the dead for this big climactic battle where all the spirits of the living and the dead kept fighting a common enemy. So what does that mean for that? Well, we do know that for the Flash movie that Ezra Miller actually has said that the Flash that really all the speedsters are kind of like a web, like they're kind of like a web where where the multiverse is like a web. The speedsters are the ones that can only go through those invisible walls to the other realm, or dimensions. Like you have Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, and then you have like the undead universe somewhere in the middle, like the undead Earth or something like that. And so then with that, it is actually very possible for a Flash to theoretically to go to Earth, go to what I'm gonna call Earth Zero. So the Flash go can so a Flash can theoretically go to Earth Zero and call to the spirits of the dead or of those who have died, and that would really be where really all of the where literally all the earth where all the gods, all the hells are with you to fight this common enemy known as the dark side. And really, like I said, if you want to really, and really, I know Matt from Lycats is really kind of going on his head, saying that really there's no evidence of this. Well, there actually is, because in the comics, there actually is a undead Earth in the comics, and we do know that Zach is a huge comic guy. He loves DC. He loves the comics, all that stuff. And and so with there being a Earth Zero, that really does, and with there being a Earth Zero in the comics, it is actually very possible for there to be a Earth Zero in the DCEU somewhere out there. Because, like I said, because really, as we know, they're really pushing this multiverse thing. And it's really like the whole center part of it. Now, why would they say that it's a multiverse if they weren't going to use it? And we do know that Zack had said that for his Justice League and for his arc, the reason why he wanted to do the DC movies was because he wanted to explore the multiverse. Now Zack is back. His arc does include the multiverse. So that means that theoretically that it is very possible that really the undead can take part in the climactic battle of the Justice League Part 3, where we have the undead, where we have the entire multiverse, including a speedster who went to Earth Zero to get the undead and to call them into action, aka the perfect unity. All the gods, all the hells, they are with you. So that's really so yeah, that's the video, guys. And like I said, I do believe that the Flash will take part in resurrecting Superman, but not in the Mother Box way, but actually going to Earth Zero, aka the world of the undead, and bringing him back to Earth Prime, aka the universe that he was in. So, and then for the future of that, I think that for Justice League Part 3, we will see the multiverse, including the undead, versus the forces of Apocalypse. So, yeah, I know I told a few guys that you might find me a little bit crazy about it, but yeah, like think about what I said, and if you don't really get it, then kind of like rewatch it a few times to really try to get it. And yeah, so yeah, that's the video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.